In today's video, we'll be dusting off the pages of a very controversial topic, the Book of Unpopular Pastries. The Book of Unpopular Pastries, New Zealand edition. A comprehensive guide to why popular isn't always better. Braided pork floss green onion buns, a real hit with the fast-paced urban dwellers across many parts of China, Hong Kong and Taiwan. However, not often the first choice at your local New Zealand bakery. Buckton. Originating from Bohemia in the Czech Republic, this is a typical dessert loved by many in parts of Austria, Slovenia and Hungary, but not so common on the Kiwi dinner table. Bahulu. A traditional Malay pastry not too dissimilar to the concept of a Madeleine cake. This petite little sweet is a gastronomic nostalgia for many people in Malaysia, but probably won't be remembered by New Zealanders as a childhood classic memory. And finally, this lands us on the Caneles. Honestly, before meeting Corentin, I had some recollection of seeing this pastry in a couple bakeries, however I never took the step to try, and honestly, I regret not trying it sooner. So our fingers stopped on the pages of the Caneles, and I wanted to find out more. Now, for me to really understand if Caneles were truly an unpopular pastry in New Zealand, I had to do a bit of research. So I called 10 local bakeries in the Christchurch region to ask them, do you sell Caneles? And this is the response I got. Hello, hi, I was wondering if you guys sold Caneles.
No, we don't.
Don't sell Caneles, no, that's alright. Caneles, have you heard of Caneles before?
Caneles?
Yeah. No, don't sell those. That's alright.
I don't know really. Sorry.
That's alright, no trouble. Thanks anyway.
Caneles, no.
No Caneles. Do you know where I might be able to find some?
You told the French bakery?
French bakery? Okay, gotcha. Thank you so much.
Okay, thanks.
Cool. Cheers, bye.
I'm not sure, sorry. Would you be able to call back tomorrow? Caneles?
Yeah.
I don't know what it is, I'm afraid.
That's alright. Cool, thank you so
Thank
much.
you.
Have a good one. Bye.
Bye-bye.
Thank you so much.
Okay,
Cool.
bye.
Take care. Bye.
Bye.
Cool. Thanks anyway. Bye.
Thank you so much.
Cool. Thank you. Take care. Bye.
Thank you.
Thank
Bye-bye.
you. Bye. Now, although the general consensus was no, this doesn't necessarily mean that the Caneles is not trendy or popular. We need to consider the socio-cultural norms of what is popular and what is understood as pastry. So for example, in Vietnam, the banh mi would be a really popular and typical snack food or sandwich that people would just naturally gravitate towards. But if you put the banh mi in somewhere like, I don't know, Dunsandel, of course it's not going to be that popular, but it doesn't detract from the fact that it's still a delicious sandwich. Similarly, even though the Caneles isn't sold in these bakeries, I still believe it has a place in the market and in the Kiwi Appetite, because it's growing. The Kiwi Appetite is growing. We're not just eating our steak and cheese pies and our custard squares and our cinnamon rolls and all those typical things that we absolutely love as Kiwis, but we're actually exploring the world of cuisine, and that really excites me. I caught up with Corentin, the owner and head pastry chef of Butter, an incredible small pastry shop that sells traditionally inspired French pastries.
So I actually went back to France a couple of years ago, and that was when I had my first Caneles. I never had them as a child. It wasn't something I noticed when I was younger, but it's super French. It's from Bordeaux, which is southwest, and it has rum and vanilla in it, and it's practically just a pancake mix. It's a very simple recipe, but it's cooked using traditional copper molds, and I've tried without, and it's not the same, and beeswax to line it, and it's a very old traditional recipe, but it's the same thing I've been talking about this whole time. It's one element that is two different textures. Once it's baked properly, you get a crispy caramelized outer shell, and the inside is a soft custardy, vanilla-y, rummy, a gooey, soft, I'm running out of adjectives. But the inside is completely contrasted to the outside. And so I get really excited when the process transforms the ingredients into a product that is so interesting to me. I think it's part of wanting to make traditional pastry, and I haven't changed the recipe. I'm not messing with any ingredients. It's one of the few things I don't want to change, and I'm happy with it as it is.
Hearing Corentin's heart on why he believes preserving tradition is important really made me wonder what was really more important in life, capitalizing off the short-term gains of fleeting trends, or celebrating and upholding the culinary traditions that made us who we are today. So hearing how delicious this cannelé was and always has been, it made me realize that trendy does not always mean better. So understanding that tradition takes effort and probably a lot of sacrifice, I wanted to ask Corentin what the biggest mistake was when making these cannelés.
The biggest mistake I've made with the cannelé is trying to bake too many at a time.
And that brings me on to my second point. Quality is sometimes more important than quantity.
It might be a mistake, but I bought 50 molds and they're not cheap. So I tried to bake 50 at a time. And unfortunately, the oven temperature drops down and you don't get the same crisp and caramelization on top. And all the cannelés popped out of the mold, which actually just caused the whole batch to fail. So I only bake these 24 at a time now because that's the maximum my oven can take. And so it does mean that it's a product that I can't mass market or produce at large, which I think is something that's even more special about it. That makes it more of a treat.
Now, the commercial and monetary sacrifices that Corentin made by holding on to the fact that he would only make 24 at a time really got me thinking about the idea of appreciation over accumulation. In this world we live in, we often try to find the best bargain, or we have this consumerism mindset that if it's not a good deal, it's not worth it. Well, this made me question the idea of what was a good deal. What are your KPIs for a good deal? Is it the price? Is it how much you can purchase of one thing? Or is it the quality and the love and the patience and the care that goes into producing what you're digesting? This reminded me of an interview I did with Shafiq over at Story Restaurant, where he talked about the difference between being full and being satisfied.
Not only the purpose of the food, not only for body. I think it's for your soul also. How you eat, that's how you're gonna reflect. And we have to understand, we have to eat until we are satisfied, not like we have to eat until we're full. There's a difference between satisfied and full.
So putting these two concepts together from two very respectable chefs made me realize that less is more, and sometimes more is definitely less. Now, my third unpopular notion that I want to talk about is satisfaction in the simple. Now, in this flavour-packed world we live in, which is amazing and diverse, we tend to be looking and searching for the next flavour profile, or every permutation of flavours under the sun. However, Corentin breaks down the experience of eating a cannelé in such a way that makes me want to appreciate the simpleness.
Eating a cannelé is first a visual experience because they've got quite a unique shape.
So this is my greyhound. His name's Howard, and he's smelling these bomb-ass cannelés at the moment. I'm going to try some, and I just wanted to let you know how they taste. So in these boxes are some incredible cannelés. They often come a dozen at a time, so if you ever do order cannelés off Corentin through Instagram, the link's in the description below. He's just going to keep staring. Remarkably structurally stable. I think these would survive an earthquake any day.
And secondly, a textural experience because they're a lot crunchier than you might expect, and so it's quite a bite.
Yum.
And then the center is soft, which can catch you by surprise, and then it tastes like vanilla and rum, which to me is a perfect combination of flavors, and so I think it's quite a journey in one bite.
And so I remember the first time I had one of these cannelés was during the shoot. I was pleasantly surprised at how crispy and fresh they were. Unfortunately, these are a day old, so they've lost a little bit of their crunch, but when they're fresh, which they should be, it is delicious.
Again, I get really excited when the process transforms the ingredients into a product that is so interesting to me.
And this philosophy of simple goes into everyday life. Sometimes we can analyze a situation so much that we grow paralyzed. It's called analysis paralysis. But if you look around the world, the places that survive for generations and generations only sell 1 or 2 things on their menu. You see it everywhere through Southeast Asia. The noodle shops or the fried chicken joints that have been selling the same dish for generations and generations, that have taken children all the way to tertiary education and providing for the family. Not because they sold a lot of different things on the menu, but actually just because they sold one thing and they did it really, really well. I'm not trying to make this an educational lesson, but I just wanted to take a moment to appreciate the fact that a canelé, an unpopular French pastry in the context of New Zealand, can teach us so much about not judging a book by its cover and actually taking time to marinate in unpopular notions so that we can be more open-minded and thrive together on this awesome planet called Earth. So if you enjoyed watching this video and found it helpful in any way, please let us know what you learned and maybe tell us what is an unpopular notion that you have in your life that you want to share with us. And finally, if you want to keep up with the videos that we produce every single Thursday, please consider subscribing and clicking that notification bell. It really supports me and the people involved in this channel. We so appreciate you and we can't wait to see you again. My name is Justin and this is StoryBites, sharing our love for people and food, one bite at a time. See you next week.